Hello everybody, my name is James. Welcome to the Planet FPL Deadline stream for Gameweek 26 and it's live. Let's clear my throat because we've got a busy hour or so ahead. Over the next 55 minutes or so, I'll be taking on as many of your FPL dilemmas as possible between now and the 11 a.m. UK time deadline for double Game Week 26. Firstly, let me explain the graphics because that's difficult for some people. Right, my team, top right of the screen. -4 taken, Connor Cody and Rafinha in for Issa Diop and Diogo Jota. Triple captain Mo Salah. Plan at the moment is just to run through game week 28-29. I know most people ain't doing that, so I like to be different. There's nothing wrong with going for wildcard now, bench boost 28, bench boost 29, free hit 27, any of these things. It's great. We've got multiple options for strategy. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I don't think my team's set up too badly for 28 and 29 or this week now. So I've taken a -4. I line up this week with Foster, Trent, Cody, Tierney, Cancelo with a single, triple captain Salah, Bowen with a single, Rafinha, those two Watford clowns up front, and Harry Kane. The plan is to move the two Watford players for Armando Broja and Che Adams at the moment for another -4 in game week 27. To the left of me, you'll see my correct score predictions for all 14 games that are taking place in game week 26 and the schedule including their kickoff times, etc. Top captaincy picks to the right of the screen. I don't suppose you actually need that graphic this week, but captain a fucking Liverpool player, whatever you're doing. And below me, the benching dilemmas. The player with the tick is the preferred option between the two players. I never thought I'd see the day where Cristiano Ronaldo made a benching dilemma, but there he is. They will run through in order. Page 1 is Cancelo over Bowen, over Broja, over Foden, over Dennis. Page 2 is Dennis over Ronaldo, over Laporte, over Antonio. Page 3 is Maupay over Coutinho, over Watkins, over Rudiger, over Dean. Page 4 is Dean over Cucurella, Cucurella over Ramsey, Ramsey over Gallagher, Gallagher over Soufal, and the keepers on page 5. Ramsdale over Pope, Pope over Sarr, Sarr over Foster, Foster over De Gea. If you've asked a question on any of them players, you're just going to get referred to the benching dilemmas. So please refer people, my spanners, my YouTube people, at people. Thanks very much, and tell them to listen to the first 2.5 minutes of the stream. You'll also see below me the updated ticker for each team's next 5 fixtures, including the updated game week 28-29 fixtures scrolling across the bottom of the screen. As ever, shout out to my man FPL Captain on the graphics. Give him a follow on Twitter. That's Captain with a K. Right, I'm going to try and do this as fast as possible for you. Please, everybody, before you submit a question, read the pinned message on YouTube. Be most grateful if you did. And I can't slide through the comments at the moment. That's a little bit of a problem. No one's getting any comments covered. What's going on here then? Why has that happened? Okay, that's sorted. Right, how bloody weird is this little system sometimes? Right, looks like Joe Gifford is first. Hi James, begrudgingly hit the wild card this week. Just one simple dilemma for the Spurs fan: Laka and Son or Saka and Kane? Saka and Kane. Praise says, hey James, how are you? Very well, thank you mate. Bit short of sleep, but all good. Is it worth holding on to Kane or taking him out to free up cash for me to keep Bruno and bring in Salah and Son for hits? Is Son worth a hit or should I stick with Gallagher? Wow. Don't get the removing of Harry Kane now. Double game week, it's not the best double with Man City first. Then it's Leeds, then it's Everton. If you've got him like me, you stay at the moment, don't you? Gallagher's a bench option really this week, isn't he? I think there are loads of players that are better options of him, considering he'll obviously be ineligible for the Chelsea game and just has the one fixture. Is Son worth a hit? In most cases, no. I sent a tweet yesterday clarifying my comments on Son on Monday where I said he doesn't look fit at the moment. He's had a free midweek to get that fitness up, right? So I think Bruno or KDB, I wouldn't move to Son this week. Free transfers borderline, I wouldn't do it for a hit. Most other people I'd still buy Son for. So, I mean, if you're taking a -4 to buy Son over a single game week player, if you had the money to go directly from Gallagher to Son, fine. Bruno, I think, could do bits tomorrow. I think KDB could do bits today. I wouldn't rush to force him in. Son hasn't scored an away goal since game week 8, but he's also a great option beyond this week as well. And that fitness will come. There's no doubt about it. Generally, Son is quite a naturally fit player most of the time. Tottenham are just not in a good moment. And today's fixture, I think it's blinded by the double a little bit. We've got Manchester City away today. Yeah. What we've got this week is Burnley away plus 2 pointers for the majority of players today. Pushkar says, hello James, what an awful timing yesterday. Most of us were screaming in the live chat to get your attention towards the fixture announcement, but alas, was it unexpected? The fixture announcement wasn't unexpected as such. The actual fixtures that dropped were. I don't think anybody was predicting that to come in terms of 3 extra fixtures to 28, 29. Didn't expect it. I think it was unnecessary personally. And I appreciate all those who, at the end of my Ask James stream, were trying to notify me and say the fixtures have dropped, because the fixtures dropped at 4 o'clock and I finished my stream about 4:05. And you know me, I don't go till the end of the chat till I finish the stream basically. So yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, to be honest, if I'd seen it, I'd have been sitting there for another hour, wouldn't I? So it is what it is basically. That's it. This YouTube chat is right playing up today. Jeez, what's going on with it? Sorry, gang. Right, Avis says... oh, no, it doesn't, actually. That's miles away, but I'll get you, Avis. Don't worry. Well, he thinks he will, anyway. Pushcast says, hello, James. That's what we did. Praises. Also, do you think Fernandes is worth keeping for this week? And what's your plans for Gameweek 27 with the new fixture updates? So, with the transfers I've made, I've only got, obviously, 2 Liverpool and 1 Arsenal now. So, as it stands, I've got 11 players, and I plan to remove 2 of those players for 2 Southampton players as it stands in Game Week 27. So chilled, that's where I'm at for it. I'm not going to have the best team in Game Week 27 clearly, but I've got a team that I think can survive the week. Captaincy be interested. Could be Harry Kane, could be Cancelo. I haven't decided. This could even be Breuer or Che Adams. I haven't decided yet. Tom Dart says, which one do I start out of Dean, Edouard, Elise and Breuer? Also, do you think I should bench boost now since I've just wildcarded, or wait until Game Week 36 and triple captain Salah this week? I mean, I guess that's your bench, isn't it? Don't love it. I mean, Elise could just play Chelsea today, similar with Edouard. Don't love it as a bench boost, to be honest. Prefer the triple captaincy there, but I also can't see who your goalkeeper is. From them, I'd play Breuer, I think. No, maybe not. I'd play Edouard, I think, with the double. I'd play Edouard, I think, from them. Prey says, at what point do you think it maniacal to take any more hits? -12, -16, -20. I wouldn't call it maniacal. I don't think that's the right term to be using specifically. I see plenty of really good content creators. I know FPL Raptor was thinking of taking a -12, and he's really into the psychology and stuff. He's an extremely good FPL manager, and he thinks it's justifiable. So who's me to tell him otherwise? I think personally at that point, I'd be wanting to wildcard, personally, but I'm gonna have to unpin my message because it's not allowing me to move through the chat at this stage. But I'm gonna read the unpinned message when I get to it. I think -12, you need to be thinking, should I be wildcarding? -8's absolutely fine. Praise says, Sarah Ramsdale thinking about long term with both players' future doubles. It depends. What's your strategy plan, right? I could say to you, right, yeah, go for Ramsdale. You might be looking at free hit in 29. So it's completely dependent on your strategy. I think you could toss a coin between the 2 of them. Personal preference at this stage would slightly be with Sarr. But then if Chelsea Arsenal does still go into Game Week 28, and it still could, then it would look like Ramsdale, wouldn't it? It depends a little bit on your strategy, and unfortunately that's going to be the answer to a lot of these questions. Henry Martin says, bench Cancelo or Antonio. They're both on the bench in dilemmas, mate. I would bench Antonio. Sage says, Antonio Watkins to Lacazette, Jimenez and Livramento to Gabriel Saiz for a -8. If I get in Wolves players, don't need to free hit next week. Have Saka but no Ramsdale. Thanks for sharing. Joe Burns says, best Ronaldo replacement, King and Dennis on my other forwards. Thanks. Arguably Harry Kane. Arguably it's just like come down to like Armando Breuer or something at this stage. I don't think the forwards this week are absolutely spectacular. With the way the fixtures are landed, it certainly adds to the appeal of Raul Jimenez, so I think that's probably the sensible answer. Dara Sam Maguire says, hi, already at -4. Should I Region Coleman? Yes, had him at 14 points. Terrific. And Jota out with Robbo, Tierney and either Saka or JWP. God's sakes. What a shit question. With game week 27 in mind, that will bring up to minus 16. But want triple captain Salah? No. Just I can't bother. There's too much stuff going on in that question. I wish you luck, Dara. Ellen says, hi James, no questions, I'm busy already, had to make moves, but stay safe in the storm. Thanks for all the great content. You're very welcome, thank you. Very calm now. Some of you might have seen a picture I posted on Twitter yesterday, which was me finishing my Ask James stream, going to pick up my son from his childminder, and this tree had been rooted, it had ripped the pavement out and everything. It was basically like the Premier League's announcement not to give Chelsea a double game week in 28. Warnock says, is Reguilon out for both games? No. My understanding is, and it's only my understanding, they will not be available today. Reese Marlowe says, hi James, on a free hit, would you take a punt on Diaz? No, I wouldn't. I'll repeat my pin tweet because I can't pin it because YouTube's been an arse this morning. Hi all, questions will be answered in order of submission. Please avoid similar repeat questions if possible. Asking the same question twice won't make me get to you quicker. Good luck everyone. Hamish Holmes says, morning chief, please can you rank the Wolves defenders in order of preference? I'm favouring Cody and Kilman for nailedness. Yeah, I think if I was on a free hit this week I'd go Saiz. But otherwise I don't particularly think he's worth paying the extra. So I've gone Cody. Part of that is I think there's a fair chance he'll jump in price tonight. And he's obviously, I mean, they're both nailed, Cody and Kilman, not a problem at all. I did have a brief look last night at kind of their XG numbers. They're both shit. It's neither here nor there. The one thing I did notice was Cody a little bit liable to pick up bonus points than Kilman. So in the event of a clean sheet, Cody's more likely to get you a 7 or 8 than Kilman. So that's why I've gone with Cody. Andy Max says, morning James, what do you think the chances of Chelsea v Arsenal going to game week 28 could influence whether I wildcard or not this week? Less than 50%. I actually think, and I went through this on the stream I did for the patrons last night, it's inexplicable that they've not arranged Chelsea versus Arsenal in game week 28. We thought it would go on the Thursday. The fact that Leeds versus Aston Villa is now on Amazon Prime on the Thursday means that if it's on the Thursday, it's not going to be shown on British television. Therefore, I don't think it will be on the Thursday. But then why have they announced Arsenal versus Liverpool for the following Wednesday and not announced Chelsea versus Arsenal on the Wednesday before if they intend to put it there and show it on TV? I've got a theory, by the way. Game week 27, all the doubles are on a Thursday. Game week 28, there's a couple of games on the Wednesday. I think the difference between the two is that following Wednesday in game week 28, no English team at home. Chelsea are away in the Champions League. And I think that's why the week before all the games are on Thursday. It makes me think now that Chelsea and Arsenal probably will not go into game week 28. The necessity for Chelsea to play a fixture in game week 28, however, is absolutely essential if they beat Lille and beat Luton in the respective cup competitions, which, let's face it, they probably will. I think at this stage, they'll possibly bring Chelsea's fixture with Norwich in game week 30 forward to game week 28 at 1 week's notice, which is disgraceful for fans, but I think that might be what they end up doing, because I think they're going to get there and they're going to realise how big the problem is. I don't know why they can't see it. The one team that had to double in game week 28 was Chelsea. No other team needed to. It's laughable. I think they've been pressured by Amazon saying, right, we want these Leeds, Villa and Everton, Newcastle games, and obviously Arsenal, Wolves this week are all Amazon Prime games. I think Amazon put their foot down and went, come on, we want our period, we want our time. And obviously those midweeks as well, they're not on the second week, the 29 it's not, but the other two, it's the only live game, right? Arsenal, Wolves this week and Leeds, Villa 28. Although in 29, Arsenal, Liverpool's on TV the night before Everton, Newcastle. But I think there might be something in the fact that Chelsea are away in the Champions League on that Wednesday night. So if UEFA are not letting the Premier League clash live television games when there's English teams playing at home in the Champions League, Chelsea and Arsenal is not going into 28 unless it's not shown on TV. But quite frankly, I'm so at a loss with the fact they haven't put Chelsea into game week 28. These pricks could end up doing anything at this stage. That should clarify it really well for you. Pushkar says, you did mention it on Twitter, but can you explain the Chelsea situation from fixture point of view and then from FPL players point of view? Do pending Chelsea fixtures pushes towards a wild card in 31? I've kind of just covered Chelsea have great fixtures from game week 28, so you can potentially still target their assets. And it's worth noting that because of other teams' doubles, most people are not going to be able to get to Chelsea. Like if they only have a single, I'll probably be one of them. But then if they do double in 28, bang, 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 especially if it's Norwich, I'm in. Dion Chung says, morning James, should I hold on to DCL up to his double game week 29? If so, start him or Ramsey this game week? I've been in, mate. This week, between the two, probably I would start DCL probably, but I'd been in, mate. I'd been him. He's holding it forward just for the sake of 29. Yeah, Jimenez has got 5 fixtures between now and then, for example. I'd been in, mate. Pushcar says, if we say only 3 hit in one of game week 27-30, what are the other potential game weeks to use it other than game week 36? Exactly the same as what I covered on the podcast 12 days ago. That podcast is still relevant, although the fixtures are out of date. But game week 33, if the best teams win in the FA Cup, game week 33 is going to have a few teams double who you're not sure you like the look of, and there'll be difficult fixtures for the likes of Man City at Wolves, for example. So 33 is kind of what I've got in mind at the moment. You could even use it in 36. I think for a lot of people, bench boost in the next couple of weeks, free hit 36, quite viable. They do not have to be used in the blanks, right? It can be used aggressively in doubles. I think even 28, 29 for certain people. I mean, let's say you're wildcarding now 26 with 6 Liverpool, 6 Arsenal and a bit of Tottenham. Right? And you go, don't really want them teams who've got doubles in 28. You could free hit in 28, couldn't you? You could free hit in 28 and 30. There's loads of different ways to play this. Alex Abdella says, Jota replacement question for a change. Thinking long-term options. James Ward-Prowse, Coutinho or Ramsey. Thanks. Ramsey's just such a great enabler, right? So, I mean, that's where the preference is, because really he should be a 6 million player in himself. So Ramsey gets the preference. I think the other 2 players are great choices. If it was me at this minute in time, I'd possibly go Ward-Prowse. Hamish Holmes says, would you start Coutinho and Breuer over Cody and Kilman this week? No. Even though I'm not backing Wolves for a clean sheet this week, let's be honest, they're outstanding defensively and it could be back-to-back clean sheets. So, no, I wouldn't. FPL Dougal says, morning Jimbo, enjoyed the stream last night, but it gave me a headache trying to keep up. Lol. Who do you think scores more over the next 2 game weeks? Son versus City, Burnley and Leeds, or Fernandes versus Leeds and Watford? Fernandes. Close. I actually think Fernandes. Pushkar says, sorry for the amount of questions. Please help me with the bench. De Gea or Gator? Gator's got the double, hasn't he? So play Gator. Bench any 2 of Ramsey, Rafinha, Dennis, King, Cancelo. Definitely Ramsey from that, unfortunately. I'd play Dennis. I'd play Rafinha. I'd bench King, actually, from that. Lewis Cole says, hi, James. Going to sell Jota. Your preference of Cornet, Luis Diaz or Coutinho? Well, I was going to buy Cornet yesterday till I had a relook at the schedule. So I think, look, double in a row. Again, it's really dependent on your strategy. I like Cornet. I think it's a decent option. Yes, he's playing on the left at the moment, but 4 fixtures in 2 weeks. None of the fixtures particularly horrible. I think it's a decent shout. Luis Diaz doesn't interest me at the moment, personally. Can't see him starting both games. He's a super talent. I did some analysis for him on him for our advanced tier patrons last week. I think he's a super player. I think he's going to be a regular Liverpool starter, no doubt about it, in the future. Now I think it's very punty-ish. Obviously, it can hold a place if you want to go back to Jota. I think if it was me, I'd go Cornet. Rob Lynch says, I have to play 2 of Region, Bowen, Dean and King. Who do I go? No bench boost, as the obvious triple captain is the play. From that, right now, I would play Bowen and King. Andy Max says, when will a better time be to wildcard if not this week? Game week 28 now or later, do you think? Yeah, game week 28, I've been quite critical of it, but actually with the way the doubles have fallen, looks a much better option now, and I won't rule it out for myself as a possibility, though unlikely. Obviously after the blanks, game week 31, 32, 34, 35 to appeal for the bench boost. There are loads of different ways to play this. It's going to be quite subjective. Unfortunately, it's a shit answer. It's going to be quite subjective to what your own teams look like. Dragon says, transfer decisions for this week only. Get Ramsdale, Gabriel, bench Foster, Dennis. Do you prefer Luis Diaz or Firmino for 1 week punt? Thanks for the amazing content, James. If it's just the 1 week, I prefer Firmino. I'm not sure. Bother my ass with Ramsdale, Gabriel over Foster, Dennis. Yeah, they score more. I mean, if you're free hitting, yeah, fine. Ramsdale, Gabriel. I'm going to assume that's what you're doing is free hitting. So Ramsdale, Gabriel. James Cartwright says, morning mate, I've currently got 11 players for 27. When is the best time to use my free hit chips? I have both. I don't use 27 as covered. Thanks for the question, James. Alan Holohan, VVD or Robertson on wildcard? Robertson, all day long, every day long. I just discussed this on the team news stream with some of our patrons, that I think Van Dijk is a pick over Robertson out of fear that Robertson won't play twice. Now, if you're free hitting, I get that to a certain extent. If you're buying, Andy Robertson, all day, every day. Hollis Stamos says, hello James, I'm trying to play sensible. Does this sound like that? Triple captain 26, no chips 27, free hit 33, bench boost 36. And then I decide in next 7 days my tactic with wildcard and second free hit because I didn't manage so far. It's fine, mate. You're good. No stress, mate. Keep going your way, mate. As I said, there are loads of different ways to play this. Dion Chung, is Mane a viable triple captain option if you want to chase rank? Yeah. Does he start twice? I don't know. I put Salah starting to that 60%, by the way. No better than that. I think he probably starts, but no better than 60%. I also don't care. 120 minutes versus Norwich and Leeds. Yes, please. I'll have some of that. I think it might be a similar story for Mane. I think Diaz will start one of the games, won't he? But yeah, I mean, look, if you're miles behind, the risk is you go the other way. Do we really think Mane outscores Salah this week? I'm going to say no, the way it's been going. Hamish Holmes says, do you rate Laka as an option? No. Only for free hitters. FPL Jabs, option A, bench Jota and play Antonio and roll. Option B, sell Jota, lose value and double game week 29 for Cornet and bench Antonio. Neither options involve free hit in 27. Option B, mate. Ripwick says, Firmino or Lacazette. Jota could be up. He might even be back by game week 29. They need to reassess the injury, right? Stop stressing about the value. Deal with the problem. There's too many issues to deal out with at the moment. You'll nick a little bit on Jota because he'll get sold, right? Think of it like this. People are going to sell him because he's injured. Then he's not playing next week. His price is going to dive pretty quick. Remember how quick Salah's dived? I'd sell him. Don't stress too much about the value. It's fully in my plans at the moment that I could be buying Jota back in 29. It's part why I haven't gone for the third Liverpool player at the moment. Ripwick says, Firmino or Lacazette and Tierney or Saiss for double game week 26 only. Only, i.e. if you're free hitting, Firmino and Lacazette. George W says, apologies if it's on the bench in dilemma, start Morpay or Antonio. Fairly certain they will be on the bench in dilemmas, my friend. In fact, they're right next to each other on page 2. Savanch says, hi James, not planning on free hit 27. I think I'll be able to get a decent team out in 30, having targeted doubles 28, 29. When do I use my chips? Left with wildcard, bench boost and 2 free hits. Well, you could use one of the, planning on free hit 27. You could use one in 29. 33 is a possibility. 36, although you'd probably be bench boosting then at that point. Could be just another random. There's still going to be some random ones. Game week 37 is going to have a few doubles as it stands. Possibly going to have two or three Chelsea fixtures the way it's going at the moment. So maybe even 37. No stress. There'll be opportunities. Tom Goodlife says Son, Ramsey and Lacazette and 1.3 million in the back, or Kane, Odegaard and Coutinho. Don't like the Odegaard pick. Adam Pritchard kind of laughed me out of house on Thursday's Clash of the Correspondents when I mentioned him. So Son, Ramsey, Lacazette, but I'm not keen on having Lacazette beyond this week, personally. Option A though. Andrew Grondin says, hi James, 1, start Dennis or Laporte. Dennis. Both on the bench in dilemmas. 2, how much does Watford suck if double game week striker with 14 goal contributions or single game week centre back is even a question? They suck. But I think they might get a result on Wednesday. Check the predictions. Zaris says, good morning. I made early transfers and took a -4. I have still Jota. Should I take him out? Total -8 for someone like Saka. Other options is to play Varane or Dawson and keep him. Greetings from Greece. Yeah, take the hit, mate. Rose Mendes says, 2 weeks ago when I asked you on Game Week 28 Wildcard, you didn't look happy and just laughed on a podcast. Now you have changed your mind on Game Week 28 Wildcard. Question, I'm doing it and bench boost 29. Cool, good luck to you, Rose. Josh says, hi James, 3 best Arsenal assets on Wildcard. Ramsey, Tierney, Saka. Alfredo Demetrius says, hey bro, why Chelsea double game week fixture in 28 versus Norwich yet announced officially by FPL? I can see that fixture in my profile on Chelsea ticketing account. It's interesting. It can't be announced yet because if Chelsea lose to Luton in the FA Cup, the fixture will still take place in game week 38. Game week 30, sorry. Game week 30. So it's complicated. Basically, Norwich need to beat Liverpool and Norwich need to beat Liverpool and Luton beat Chelsea. So Chelsea and Liverpool need to both go out the FA Cups for Norwich Chelsea to still be in game week 30. So it's highly likely not to be. However, in theory, it still will be if those two results happen. Pushkar says, what's the situation at Wolves between Aït-Nouri and Markel, or just play the extra for Saiz? Pushkar, if it's that important to you, leave the stream, watch Thursday's Clash to Correspondence and find the bit where we talk about Wolves defenders. I think it's probably about the 15-20 minute mark or something. And read Bruno Lage's comments last week where he said depending on game he'll play Aït-Nouri, Markel or Johnny's now available. If you're looking to buy one of those two players, I now would not. More the Explorer says, hi James and thanks for your awesome work mate. Can't decide on Rafinha or Cornet. Would you take both in for a hit for Jota and Bernardo? Or why as a hit could be Dawson to a Wolves defender? Well, look what I've done. I've just gone Diop to Cody and I've gone Jota to Rafinha. But at the moment, I'm not planning to use chips in the next 3 game weeks. So if you're looking to wildcard in game week 28, for example, Cornet's the better option. I might still end up wildcarding in 28 as it stands, but decided that if I didn't go down that route, Cornet was going to be a headache I'd rather do without. That's why I went Rafinha. So again, it's quite strategy dependent. Ken O'Grady says, hi James, Jota and Breuer out for Firmino and Burnley midfielder for -4. Fucking hell. I would not sell Breuer at this point. 3 Liverpool players, not essential, mate. Not essential. I don't have 3 Liverpool players. Nothing's essential. Like, people want to back against Salah because they're chasing in rank. Fine, back against Salah because you're chasing in rank. Burnley midfielder -4. Come on, man. Maxwell Cornet would be the only one of interest, but don't move Breuer out now, man. Seriously. Unless you were free hitting or wild carding, even still, Breuer next week, man. He's home to Norwich. Don't move him out. Honestly, I'm buying him next week, almost definitely. As long as he's fit. I keep saying this about players and they get injured. Poor Adamida. Damn. Planting seeds. Kane and Son in free hit. Love you. If I was free hitting, yes, I probably would go for the both. Alfredo Demetrius says, De Gea is my other goalkeeper. So which combo scores more points only for this week? Robertson and Ramsdale or Tierney and Alisson? Robertson and Ramsdale. Yeah. Alex Abdella, is Livramento a keep? This is hard. Problem you've got is Walker Peters and Romain Peralta playing extremely well in the fullback areas at the moment, and that's what's causing the problem. His fitness should be better now. It's worth saying, would he play in a double anyway? I've no idea. Those two are playing so well, Cole Walker Peters and Romain Peralta. It's probably a sell. But if you can push the problem back and get another week's worth of information, it might be worth doing so. FTLOL podcast, morning James, what do you think of these transfers? De Gea to Ramsdale for a -4 or adding Ronaldo and Dewsbury Hall to Mane and St. Maximin / Breuer for a -12, planning to free hit in 27. Hang on, I presume this is selling Ronaldo and Dewsbury Hall to Mane, Smith Rowe, Breuer. Depends what your bench is, mate. I think Dewsbury Hall is a hard sell. Obviously, if you're free hitting in 27, then you want to bin Ronaldo. Absolutely. Therefore, I'm going to say yes. Kenneth Vaz says, and still for me, Breuer over St. Maximin at this moment. Kenneth Vaz says, Jota and Alonso out. For Saka and Aït-Nouri for -8. I have Emil Smith Rowe as well. I have all my chips left and triple captain Salah this week. I think Aït-Nouri is going to drive you insane, mate. We cannot explain why he didn't play against Arsenal last week. I wouldn't bother at this stage. I'd pay extra for one of the other Wolves guys. If you can't do it, the answer's no. Zaris says, what's your thoughts about Reguilon? Will we play just one game or should I play Varane or Dawson? Guys, smash the like button and subscribe. James is an FPL god. Steady, Zaris. I'll have to start giving you my phone number, mate. I'm not going to do that. Thank you, mate. I would play Reguilon. I think from the three, if it's Reguilon at Burnley, Varane at Leeds, Dawson at home to Newcastle, I think Reguilon's got the best of that. So take a chance, and if you don't, then that's what the bench is for, right? Victor Sandberg says, good luck this game week, James. Got my armband and Luis Diaz, so this will make it or break probably my season. Play it your way, right? Absolutely. Good luck, Victor. Oscar says, David De Gea to Sarr for a hit or just play with Foster this week. I'm going with Foster this week, mate, so there's your answer. Savanch Singh, Jota, Diop and DCL for Robbo, Breuer and Rafinha for -4. False. Like it. Alfredo Demetrius, why did you choose Rafinha over possibly better double game week players like Zaha, Cornet, Saka, Neto, Ismail Assar? I've explained. It's what's to come later on and afterwards. So the double this week's obviously not great. Tottenham at home 27, we're fucking terrible at the moment. Then he's got the 28 double, Leicester v Villa. Then he's got Norwich at home in 29. Then he possibly covers me Wolves 30. Then in 31 he's got Southampton at home. Then it's Watford away in 32. It's planning ahead. Yes, all of those players have better fixtures than Rafinha this week. But they don't over the next 6, 7, 8 game weeks. Rafinha does. Menendez says, what do you think now? Triple captain 26, free hit 27, wildcard 28. The set up for 28, 29 and 30. Cheers for the Patron stream of strategy last night. Absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool with that. It's cool. I've not got a lot more to add. It's fine. I wasn't keen, but we discussed it on that stream last night, and I'm coming round to the idea of it. I won't rule out the possibility of me wildcarding in 28 myself. I won't be free hitting in 27 personally. Will Jones says, hi James, hope you're okay. Unless I get 4. If I get 4 or 5 injuries, then I am. Will Jones says, hi James, hope you're okay. Is Weghorst a viable option over Jimenez on wildcard if funds short? And which is the better combo? Semedo, Tierney, Robbo, or Saiss, Gabriel and Van Dijk? Right, hang on. I'll read that last bit again. Semedo, Tierney and Robertson, or Saiss, Gabriel and Van Dijk. Definitely the one with the fullbacks, mate. Weghorst is viable over Jimenez. What I would say is you are booking in a transfer in game week 28 to buy someone at Weghorst's price or Breuer. And the one you're probably going to want come 28 is Jimenez anyway. Jimenez is the best one, I think, for the doubles in 28. So I'd bear that in mind. Is it viable? Yes. Yes, it is. Emily says, hi James, thoughts on Odegaard instead of Saka? Unsure who to go for. Saka, definitely, mate. As Adam covered on COTC on Thursday. Keza FPL, is Jay Rodriguez too much of a punt for the Burnley double-double? Yeah, probably. Because I think, look, McNeil didn't play the last game, so does he come back in? Goodmanson's nearing fitness. That could push Cornet back into a forward position. Yes, probably is. And Ashley Barnes is back fit as well now. So, yeah, I think it is. And Weghorst is definitely going to be first choice. Nick says, hi all, just wanted to say good luck for this game week. Good luck to you too, Nick. Savant says, your thoughts on Luis Diaz as a Jota replacement? I've covered, but thanks for the question. Yo says, cheers James. Says, I bench boost Cash, Ramsey, Cancelo, Pickford or triple captain Salah. That's a triple captain for me, but I would look at playing Cancelo over one of your doublers. I'd play Cancelo over the Watford forwards, for example. Wavy says, Davis and Region on my bench in a double. Is that totally daft? Starting Antonio and Dean ahead of them. Why did I ever buy them? That's okay. Honestly, it's absolutely fine to start those other two players over Ben Davis. You're effectively looking at the same things. We've now got Dean against Watford, Antonio against Newcastle, or Davis away to Burnley. Plus 2 points for, to be honest, probably more likely 1 point for Davis. So if Tottenham concede 2, there's every chance. I think Davis might play left back tonight in a flat back 5. And up against Morris, there's every chance he gets booked and gets a 0 point at me. So, like, yeah, generally I would pick the other two over Davis. Hamish Holmes says, have these fixture drops impacted your plans in Sky? The honest answer, Hamish, is I haven't had time to look at it. I will be doing that drunk tonight. Rishi Segal says, hi James, play one out of... I don't intend to make any moves today. Rishi says, hi James, play one out of Kilman, Dean and Breuer for this game week. Play one out of Kilman, Dean and Breuer for this game. Kilman. Alistair Coper, hey mate, amazing stream last night. Really sorted my head out with fixtures. Last decision on wildcard. Kane, Odegaard and Coutinho, or Son, Lacazette and Ramsey. Don't like the Odegaard pick. I'd prefer you went Kane, Ramsey, Coutinho. Actually. Think about it. The one and only Smith. Hi James, I've already taken a -4, but I have Royal in my 11 still. Do we think he gets many minutes for this double game week, or should I go to a -8 to get saves for him? Feels tricky taking a double game week defender out. Very unpredictable on Emerson. I guess he could start both games. He could start neither. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be. I've said this a million times over the last 2 months about the Tottenham wing backs are going to give you a headache, and just don't go there basically unless you can deal with the headache. So I mean, Emerson in particular, I'd move on. Reguilon obviously has some really great underlying numbers and stuff, but that headache's going to continue as well anyway. In terms of when he plays, when he does. I actually think for Reguilon owners, the fact he's going to miss Man City as it looks is probably good news, because it increases the possibility of him playing Burnley and Leeds in 26 and 27 respectively. I'd move it on, mate. I think. I'd honestly, yeah, I'd move Emerson on. Pavanar says, hey James, Saka or Laka just this game week will free hit 27 and wildcard 20. Just this week, Lacazette. Anything else, Saka. Joe Marshall, hi James, accidentally bought Pepe instead of Saka. Joe Marshall, you just won the stream, mate. Hi James, accidentally bought Pepe instead of Saka last night for a hit. Was going to play him instead of Dean or Antonio. Do I take another -4 to fix it? Head says stick, but heart says just fix it, mate. Sorry, Joe. Just fix it, mate. Just fix it, mate. Just take another -4. 20 minutes to deadline, guys. I've probably got next to no chance of covering your question if it's not already been submitted. Make sure you're getting those teams locked in. Hasselbank is win says, how do Spurs win this game today, James? Where is the weakness in Man City? It's obviously through Sonny over the top, isn't it? It's the only way. But I think he's going to end up playing really wide in a 5-4-1 today. I just think Conte is going to go there and aim completely for a 0-0. I think and I don't particularly blame him, actually, with the state of the team at the moment. I don't think we can. I literally don't think we can go there and win today. What would I do to make it happen? Personally, I would play 5-3-2, and I would play Lucas Moura at right wing back. Personally, and that's what I want Tottenham to do from the Burnley game anyway, and play Son right up front with Kane. That's what I'd do. I don't think that's the way Conte is going to go today. I think he's just going to put up a wall, to tell you the truth. Rose says, why everyone Twitter is wildcarding James, even Suj. Rose, love you, mate. You're also getting a little bit annoying. Bertica says, hey James, top stuff as always. I've hit the wild card, but the one dilemma to go with either Bowen and Weghorst or Cornet and Laka. Top stuff. I've hit the wild, but one dilemma is to go with either Bowen and Weghorst or Cornet and Lacazette. I don't like Lacazette on a wild card. But I think you're going to want to move Weghorst on in 28. I think the answer there lies, kind of what I said to the earlier questioner, is what you doing Weghorst 28. You moving it on? If so, where to? And if that's okay, then I think yes. Bear in mind, obviously, Bowen's got Liverpool away 28. You may not want that either, but I still think that's the right answer. Darko says, hi James, any news on Watkins? I'm thinking of moving Watkins to him and his Weghorst. Breuer for a -4. Do you think it's worth it? Thanks. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. You too. So there has been some talk within the Villa community this week of Watkins possibly being dropped. Do I know anything? Absolutely no. He's fit as far as I'm concerned. He took part in what looked like a bibbed versus non-bibbed match the other day and was on the bibbed team, which looked like the first team. So I think he probably plays. I'd leave it. I think I'd leave it. David Tyner says, if it was for free, I'd possibly move it. But for -4, I'm not convinced. David Tyner says, hi James, do you think Ronaldo starts? Is it worth a -4 to bring in Kane for Ronaldo? It definitely is if you're free hitting in 27. And again, for the 100th time, it's a bit subjective, obviously, dependent on the strategy. I think in that case, yes. I think Ronaldo probably starts tomorrow because Cavani's injury, but he's not in my predicted team. In my predicted team, I have them going back to a 4-2-2-2 for specifically tomorrow, with Sancho and Rashford playing as split forwards with Pogba and Fernandes coming through the midfield in between them. It'd be fascinating to see them try that. I think Ronaldo probably does play 65, 70%. And then, of course, you probably do want him 27. That said, I'm not sure that Ronaldo plays Leeds, Atletico Wednesday, and then Watford Saturday. So I think the answer is probably yes. Probably yes. Rishi says triple captain Salah or bench boost with Cancelo, Dean, Bowen and Sanchez. That is as good as it will look for a single game week bench. That's close. Depends on strategy, but that is as good as it will look as a single game week bench boost. As good as it can look. Arguably, it's better to bench boost. Arguably. But it also is a little bit dependent on your strategy going forward. Very close. Whatever you feel gut-wise, Rishi, that's a good one for a bench boost. Hornet says, Watford clowns, harsh but fair. Yeah, exactly that, mate. Paul Spence, 007, says, morning, James. Which two would you start from 8 Norrie, Dean, Edward, Martinelli, Ramsey? Will bench the rest. To be honest, I'd bench the two with. I'd play the two with the double 8 Norrie and Edward and keep my fingers crossed. Shrinket says, James, good luck for 26. He's double up on Kane, already have some better instead of going for Jimenez or Laka this week, trying to not free hit in 27. I'm going to say yes. Yes, with Harry. Nigel Sam, hi James, no wildcard left, triple captain this week, and with the hits to set up my team for 26-29, I can field 11 in 30 with a hit. God, this is long. Is it wise to save both free hit and bench boost for 31 to 38 or set up in a way to utilise a chip now? Either, mate. Got one word answer for 100 words written. Either. It depends what you've got. You might have landed nice. I haven't landed too badly where I think I can run through 28-29. You might have shit still lingering on the bench like Sujaz, like Ben Johnson and stuff like that. And you think, I can't deal with this. I've got to get rid of it. Therefore, you may find it easier for the long game to go towards 36 with no wild card left. But if a good opportunity comes, my advice would be take it. Because it might fall apart where you just cannot set up for it in the future. So if you get close to what looks good, I would do it. Ian O'Neill says, morning James, interesting varying strategies this week. Love it, by the way. I might triple captain Trent. Good luck. Question is VVD or Robbo on transfer and why? Only transfer I'm stuck on. I've covered Robertson. Michael Richardson, bench 1. Cancelo, Bowen, Elise since he's not fully nailed. Elise. Chris Pointer says, plan to go Morpay, Jota, Sanchez, Saiz for Lamptey, Jimenez, Pope and Saka -12. Bench boost, Pope, Mitchell, Dennis and Dean. False. Hate it. Sorry, mate. Good luck. Oh, Roach, you're going to get muted, mate. Joe Knight, do you think Salah will play both in doubles? Seen a few threads saying he could be rested. Yeah, I think he could be rested. Yeah, 120 to 150 minutes is what I'd predict for him from the double game week as a whole. Joe Knight, do you just what we've done? Suya says Foden, Cancelo, Rafinha, Tomiyasu, Watkins and Veltman. Which three to play? I'd play Rafinha with double, definitely. I think you have to chance Tomiyasu. He's been in training. Mikel Arteta said not perfect yet, but he has been training. So I think you chance Tomiyasu. And personally, I would go Cancelo over Foden. Static says, morning James, Jota and Antonio to Son and Lacazette. Would be keeping Jota on bench and going... Hang on, you just sold Jota, but now you're keeping him. Thoughts? Would be keeping Jota on bench and going Laka Jimenez. Thoughts on Jimmy's upcoming double at home? Cry on what, I believe. Yeah, the double looks great, mate. I don't understand the question. It's contradictory. Sorry, mate. Sack Bastia says, James, I just want to say I love you. Best of luck, lad. Cheers, Sack. Good luck, mate. Nigel Sam, how likely is Chelsea, Arsenal, Norwich, Leicester, Mood 28? Covered that like minute 5 or something like that. Go back and listen to it. If you're that bothered about knowing what Chelsea do in 28, turn off the live bit. Go back to sort of minute 4 or so. I talk about Chelsea. Eric Solly says, hello, sir. Best opinion long term, 6 million or less. What position, mate? Jacob Ramsey. Ayub says, good luck, everyone. Nigel Sam, good luck this week. Thank you, you too. RW Chris says, hi James, play wildcard 25, bench push 26, no plan and no plan to free hit 27. I'm selling Jota for either Rafinha or Coutinho. Which would you go for? Also have Salah, Son, Bowen and Ramsey's mother Midge. Cheers, mate. Rafinha is what I've gone with, mate. Ali says, no one thinking about wildcard 27. Don't hate that, because what you could do with wildcard 27, you can bench sort of 4 between Arsenal and Liverpool, and you can get 2 more in 29. and set up really nice for 27, 28. I don't hate that at all. As I said, there are a million different ways. Well, it's not a million, but there's loads of different ways to play this. FPL telling Josh, good luck for this game week. James's double game week announcement dropped when you wrapped up the stream yesterday. What are your initial thoughts? Covered near the start. Peter says, Firmino worth a shout. Meh. 3 hitters, yes. Kushel says, James, would you go to Saiz from Ben Davis for a -4? Yes. Jarav says, go for Alan St. Maximin instead of Adams. I might do. But I'm looking at Adams next week. Looking fantastic. What's St. Maximin got next week? Brentford away. Yeah, I could do. I might go St. Maximin instead of Adams. I won't rule it out, mate. My initial reaction before the doubles was, I said on my James stream yesterday, I intend to go Adams and Breuer. It may well be that I go Alan St. Maximin instead. I won't rule it out. Bajay says, Jota to Cornet, question. Yeah, if you like it, why not? Daniel Sullivan, hi James, play Antonio against Newcastle or Diaz against Tottenham this week? Diaz, play the City player, mate. FPL Marsh, morning James, hope you're well. Watkins or Antonio to Kane -4, or Watkins, Antonio and Gray to Breuer and Son -8, and which of the forwards would you bomb out? Doesn't make sense moving Antonio or Watkins this week to Breuer, in my opinion, so the first option. I'd probably move Antonio at this stage. Svensson says, hello Svensson. Stewie Bryan, hi James, I think wildcards are diluting squad quality. For example, getting both of Laka, Jimenez, Rafinha, Coutinho, Tierney, Saiz, etc. Thoughts? Some will be, some won't be. Phil Plum says, hi James, would you bench boost D, Gaya, Breuer, Lamptey, Ramsey? I have 7 doublers. No, I wouldn't, mate. Shane Murray says, Watkins out, him in for a hit. Don't mind it if you fancy it. Pravesh says, Kilman or Cancelo. To start, I would go with the Wolves player this week. And I think if you're buying at this stage, you'd go for the Wolves player at this stage. Chris Jarger says, hi James, well done last night, mate. Is Kane a valid placeholder for Lukaku if Kaku gets Norwich in game week 28? He just might be, mate. I can see that transfer plan down the line, possibly. Just saying, hashtag. Shanak says, play 2 out of 3. Play 2 out of 3. Cancelo, Dean, Dennis. I would go Cancelo and Dennis, mate. Skeza says, bench Dennis or Cancelo. I'd bench Dennis. FPL Samurai, just saying hi from Australia. Love your work. You never sit on the fence and tell it like it is. Come on, Newcastle. Good luck, Samurai. I hope you do well today, mate. Sidoff says, oh no, this chat again. Killing me. Sorry, Sidoff. I'll find you specifically, mate. Killing me. Oh no. Where you gone, Sidoff? I found you. Hi, James. Whom to play between Ramsey and Antonio? I think you play Antonio, don't you? From that. I'm pretty sure you do. Right, it is 6 minutes or so to deadline, guys. Make sure you're getting your teams locked in. I'm sure there will be plenty of late transfers because of obviously the weather and stuff this week. So get that locked in, please. I'm just going to have a quick check for you on some of my messages, just to make sure there's not anything interesting that might have filtered through to me that I may well have missed. No, doesn't look like it. One more double check. No, I don't think anybody's fretting on the West Ham Newcastle team news particularly. Anyway, Alistair Hargreaves -8. Region out for Robertson. Fernandes out for Salah. DCL out for Jimenez. Thoughts? I can't really argue with any of those specific transfers. So yes. Skeza, I've covered that question. Ali Pack's hand. Cheers, mate. Sorry, I've butchered that. To be honest, it's difficult enough for me to say Kane. Hi, James. Should I start Foster or Lloris? It's the sound of Lloris. I'd start Hugo, mate. Yeah, I mean, he's the one Spurs player who could return really well today, right? We might get beat 3-0 and Lloris might walk away with a 4-pointer because of the amount of saves he possibly has to make. And then it's Burnley Wednesday. So, yeah, generally I would play Hugo from that. Skeza says bench. Fucking loads of times I've done that, mate. Ricardo says, thanks again, James. Would you take a -12 to bench boost and also set up for 27? No, not specifically. What I'd say is, and this goes for a lot of people heard me say this before, but for newer listeners or newer viewers, bench boost, I equate to my target would be 16 points. If I had 4 players who had doubles and they all blanked and they got 2 points in 8 fixtures, that's 16 points. That's what I'd want for it. If taking a -12 to bench boost, I would want 28 points from that bench boost. You could -12 and your bench might not even score 12. No, I don't think so, mate. But difficult to say without seeing the transfers. Matthew Hall says, what are your chip plans now? I've covered that. Thanks for the question. Kashal Roy, hi James, good morning. Would you go to Saiz from Ben Davis for -4? Yes, I would. Skeza says, hi James, mate, how many different ways can you answer it? Ask it, Skeza. I'm really sorry, mate. Like, enough. Seriously, doing my head in. Good luck, mate. Wish you well. Mustafa says, if you don't like the muting, slide in my DMs and we'll talk about it. And I'll unmute you if you're kind about it. Mustafa says, is getting a Wolves defender worth getting for Region from -4? If yes, then which defender to get? He's getting a... if I was buying, I mean, I've gone Cody, so that's going to be the answer, isn't it? Jonathan says, thanks for your work last night, mate. Finally have an idea of what's going on. Would you go for Saka or Jimenez for a hit? Good luck. I mean, it depends what you're selling, Jonathan, in all seriousness. Prefer Saka, generally, on the face of it. Ash says, Foster to Ramsdale for a hit. No, not keen. Maybe if you're wildcarding in 27 or 28, maybe. Because then I think Ramsdale probably does outscore Foster by more than 4 this week. But Foster's going to come in handy, right? And he's the best enabler goalkeeper by a mile. I'd just leave it. Anurag says, is Robertson going to be benched? I don't know, mate. I don't pick the team. Could be. Same applies to Salah, Mane, all of them. I don't know. It's Norwich at home. He could rotate the team. He might not rotate the team. Christian says, do you know anything about the rumours that Watkins will sit out for Ings? No, don't know anything further. I've covered it. Peter says, Edouard apparently not starting. Thanks for sharing. If you're going to put that sort of thing in here, put the source, please. Pratty Action. To be honest, as an Edward owner, I wouldn't be bothered about that. I'd look at that and think, great, he's playing against Watford. I generally don't panic about that. Double Wolves or Arsenal defence. Prefer Arsenal, actually. Mustafa says, which two to start from Edouard, Breuer, Region, Cash, Watkins? Edouard, potential double, might only be 120 minutes now, but still starting. Region, we don't think plays today. Of the rest, preference would be with Breuer. William Frick Person says, hello James, have you given Trent triple captain any thought? Would it be more tempting if effective ownership wasn't a thing? Nah, I haven't, to be honest. I just think those two games are absolutely ripe for Salah. Even if he plays 120 minutes. I think, general opinion, I think if Salah plays 120 minutes and Trent plays 180, I think Salah still outscores Trent. So, no, not really. Liphook says, pick two. Foden, Maupay, Keane, Watkins. What am I picking them for? Buying, benching. From that, wouldn't play Michael Keane. I'd definitely play Foden. I'd go Maupay over Watkins, just. Kashal says, hi James, good morning. Play Ben Davis or go to Saiz. Can only play one. Saiz. Joseph says, hey James, start Alonso or Bernardo. I haven't even got Alonso in my predicted Chelsea team today, to be honest. Deadly Mantis, Salah to miss Leeds, question, rested for the final v Chelsea. Why would he be rested for the final v Chelsea? Why would he be rested versus Leeds? I think it's more about today, maybe, isn't it? Most likely. Remember, Liverpool playing Norwich in the FA Cup 3 days after the Carabao Cup final. That's Salah's definite rest. Is that game? Chris Jargo says, I love your under-the-radar pick of Che Adams with 8 goal involvements in 1,200 minutes. Not so sure of captain game with 27, though. I just keep my options open for 27. Who knows? I might captain St. Maximin, Chris. About a minute to deadline, guys. Get yourselves locked in. Nelvin says, is it worth taking a -12 hit? I'm going to say no. A non-user says, any truth to St. Maximin possibly out this week and maybe the next 2-3? Was bringing him in wildcard. Maybe I should look elsewhere. Someone on our Patron Slack last night put he's been spotted in Hartlepool or something, but it wasn't taken as seriously. No, I've not heard anything. Phil Norris says, hi James, thanks for your content. Thoughts on benching Ben Davis or Breuer? I'd play Breuer, mate. Yeah, it's Ben Davis 0 pointer today versus Ben Davis at Burnley or Breuer against Everton. I play Breuer. Cole McDonald says, -8 for Antonio to Laka. It's not -8, is it? It's -4. You're not doing that transfer twice, I presume. I'm not keen. Nelvin says, VVD, Robertson or Tierney. Robertson the preference, as long as you understand that going back to Jota might be difficult. Shane says, triple captain TAA this week. Good luck. Lewis Wakelin says, hi James, would you bench Dallo or Laporte? Definitely play Laporte, mate. I'm playing Cancelo already. Literally no doubt on that, mate. I'd play Laporte. James Morgan, why have you still got double Watford attack? Crazy man. Veghorst, Jimenez, Zete, all better options around the same price. Yeah, they are. but I don't think any of them are worth a -4 specifically this week. I'm backing Burnley to score once, Wolves to score 3 times, and Watford to score twice. I don't think it's worth the -4 personally. Generally don't, but they are. At least one of them's going in 27. The only way I don't remove one of them for Breuer next week is if Breuer's injured, honestly. And if Breuer's injured, I think I'll remove one of them for Jay Adams. It's definitely happening. At least one of them. Maybe it'll be St. Maximin. Gunnar Sekran says, I have only Jota and Ramsdale from Liverpool and Arsenal. Oh, wow. I feel I have to free hit and get in Liverpool, Arsenal and other double game week teams. Or should I wait and free hit next week? I'll take a -12 and use triple captain or bench boost. That is a really, really... I think that's free hit, mate. But the deadline's gone. I would have free hitted that. How have you ended up with that? I would free hit that. Yeah, honestly. Just get it done. 3 Liverpool, 3 Arsenal. Wolves defence. At least one Tottenham attacker. And yeah, that's what I would have done. I'd Cancelo, Bowen. If I was free hitting this week, I'd have had Cancelo, Bowen. 6 from Liverpool, Arsenal. Bit of Wolves and probably Kane. Is probably what I would have done. Excuse me. Right, deadline gone as far as I'm concerned, guys. Sorry to those I didn't get through the questions, but I hope the dilemmas covered would have helped you in any case. I've got 15 Ragaf. Yes, you can go to sleep now, mate. 15 minutes. I need to finish this stream at 15:15 because I'm taking my little man out. That's my son. I'm taking my son out to a party which starts at 11:30, so I'm finishing this at 11:15. God, these kids' parties fucking everywhere at the moment. Could have done with Tottenham being 12:30 today, so I could have avoided that. So I'm happy to cover any non-FPL questions over the next 10-15 minutes or so. Sky, guys, I've not had a chance to look at it. I haven't got a Scooby. I'm probably going to captain Cancelo today in Sky rather than Salah. Yeah, throw him in. Next week's schedule, just quickly. Main podcast Monday as usual with Suj. We will do a main podcast Friday. We'll make it quite short because obviously it's a Friday deadline next week. Tuesday to be confirmed, but if we do the People's Poll podcast, it would be our 100th People's Poll podcast. Keep an eye on social media tomorrow about that. Wednesday Sky Fantasy Football. Thursday's Clash of the Correspondents is Brentford versus Newcastle, with FPL Dummy Tom and FPL_Fitwiller previewing Brentford Newcastle. Newcastle 3 wins on the spin. Now got that really attractive double in game week 28 as well. And Brentford run through nice from 27. I mean, free hit 27. You'd consider something defensively probably. Newcastle, Norwich, Burnley and then Leicester in a row for Brentford from game week 27. Will we all overlook Ivan Toney? Yes, we probably will. Stian, you've not missed the deadline, mate. Good morning, pal. I can confirm that Clash the Correspondents for game week 28 as well will be Aston Villa versus Southampton with Lee Jackson and Matt Samuel clean sheet wipeout ahead of the double for Villa and Southampton in game week 28. The scheduling of Clash of the Correspondents is really ad hoc at the moment and happening on the fly. Our Patreon content this week will include our from intermediate tier 5 additional podcasts during the week. Q&A Monday. Tuesday we're going to look at a game week 27 free hit as a possibility. Wednesday will be our quiz. Thursday will be Tottenham as soon as I get back from Burnley on Wednesday night. I'm bringing away days back for the advanced tiers this Thursday for my trip to Burnley. And Friday will be our game week 27 preview as well. There are, including away days, additional videos each weekday this week for advanced tier patrons, which will include obviously the team news stream and predicted lineup stream on Friday. I know we got a load of new patrons signed up in the last 24 hours or so. Thank you. Welcome to the community. If you need any help finding your way around, please give me a shout. I'm happy to help. Just bear in mind I'm going to be in the pub from about 5 o'clock today. But happy to help with any queries you have. If you'd like to support our content on Patreon, it's www.patreon.com/Planet FPL. I do not promise to make anybody a better FPL manager. I do promise to give you the most thorough content coverage in the community. I've never said that before, but I think it's fair. Right, 10 minutes. Any non-FPL questions? Go. Pushcar says, post-deadline question. James, if you don't mind, how did you manage to do FPL full-time? What was your day job before? And is FPL football content creation a sustainable job? Okay, I'll break that down really quickly. Covered it a lot. met Serge through work. I worked for his packaging company. He said, "Do you want to do a podcast?" Great. Then it became a weekly podcast. Then it became twice weekly. Then it became 5 times a week. Then COVID hit and I wanted to leave the packaging company. So we pushed to Patron and I went full time. That's it. Is it sustainable? Well, it depends on the support of the patron. Without the support of the patrons, I'm now unemployed. That's a fact. So I need the support. And that answers all the questions, I think. Stian, I cannot believe you missed the deadline, mate. But I wish you luck, pal. Atul says, "You're the man, James. Cheers, buddy. Phenomenal content for us patrons. Sign up to not miss out. Much love. Thank you, mate. And congrats again on Wolves' brilliant victory last week, mate." Frank Sherman says, "You are kidding, Stian?" No, he's probably not. Avis says, "Hi, James. Which match are you looking forward to watching this week for scouting players for next game weeks?" I guess Wolves Leicester tomorrow, probably. I'm not going to probably catch West Ham Newcastle today because of that party, and I won't watch any of the 3 o'clocks live. We'll watch at least one of the 3 o'clocks back tonight, and possibly another one tomorrow. The game I'm really looking forward to is Leeds Manchester United, because I think if United go 4-2-2-2, like I said, and drop Ronaldo, I think that's absolutely fascinating. And I'd be really excited to see that. I'm not saying that's what United do, but I'd be really excited to see that and how that would impact the game. Dara says, "You have to support any other Premier League team. Who and why? Sorry for shite question earlier, but think I have it sorted." I would support Watford or Brentford because they're fucking not far away and inoffensive. Pushkar said, "Can we check on Sturge? Did our man miss the deadline again?" He messaged me this morning saying I'm going to miss the deadline on purpose. I was like, piss off. Pushkar, that's what we've done. Stian says, "No, don't know what my team looks like." Fuck's sake. Matt says, "Good day, James. Great content as always. What are your thoughts on Conte's comments? Overplayed, not a big deal. He's not saying anything Tottenham fans don't already know." Hadi says, "I forgot what I did. Panic mode." Svensson says, "Hi James, name the 5 best defensive mids in the world according to you in order." Oh crap, that's a brilliant question. Can I put Modric in that category now? I feel like he is a defensive mid now. Let's say Kante. God, European football is not my strength, I gotta be honest. Can we put Casemiro in there maybe? I don't know if I'm being controversial here. I put Rodri in there. I've put Fabinho in there. To be honest, you can make a case for Jorginho as a deep line player. There's a number of names for you anyway. Hadi says, "King has been rubbish." Yeah, I'm well aware of that, mate. Static says, "Which Spurs players get into the Arsenal team?" Loris. I think Loris is still better than Ramsdale. Mistake last week aside, or mistakes rather. Loris, Kane, Son, and that's it. That's it. I think that's it, yeah. Amber Redman, has Mrs. L used a chip this week? Yes, I did. Well, I told her to triple captain Salah. Will Bill says, "Still, her team looks terrible." To be honest, if we'd have had time, I would have sat down with her and we'd have wildcarded her team. It needed wildcarding, really. We just didn't have the time. Will Bill says, "Still a while to go, but who would your England 11 be for the World Cup as things stand?" My England 11 for the World Cup as it stands would be, let's say, back 3. I think Ramsdale's going to push Pickford close, but I think it'll still be Pickford. Back 3, if it was me, Stones, Duncan, Kilman. That's going to concern you all. Chilwell left wing back. Trent, I'm not a big fan of Trent at right wing back, but probably yes. Declan Rice has got to be in there. Kane up front, and in between that, a variety of attacking mids. Phil Foden's got to be one of them. Getting that team. Grealish is fit. I think I'd still want a part of that sort of Grealish Foden off of Kane maybe. And then I would like to see in that system Mason Mount possibly play a bit of a deeper role with Declan Rice, but I think the Rice-Phillips relationships is really good. So you could be Mount and Foden higher up behind Kane, for example. That's just off the top of my head. I know I've missed 1 or 2 players out, but sorry about that. Atul says, who would you say is the best captain in the Premier League? Am I biased when I say it's Cody, or is there another better? Now, I think Connor Cody's a very fair shout, mate. It's difficult how you quantify that, right? Do you put people in because of trophies won and stuff like that? Really difficult. J. Lord Broski, who's a Newcastle fan who I really trust his word, has just put in the chat St. Maximin out for 3 weeks. I've heard that as a rumour but not substantiated, but I certainly trust your word on that, mate, that could well be correct. So it might well be Che Adams, guys. Sorry about that. Stian says, hope you and Harry have a wonderful day, and yes, I think I ended up on Salah. Good luck, buddy. Matt S, who do you think had the best peak out of Salah, Neymar, Bale or Hazard? Best peak? That's interesting. I'm going to say Neymar, actually. That kind of period, Neymar, Suarez, Messi. Yeah, I'm going to say in terms of actual peak, possibly Neymar. I can't stand the bastard, but I'm going to say Neymar. Shifo says, saw the spreadsheet yesterday for the first time and it helped a lot in my wild card. Yes, that's accessible on our Patron Slack. As always, thanks a lot for the content and the effort and time you put in. That schedule has a predicted schedule on it in terms of where every game is going to go and stuff, basically. Most of which I do explain on the pods anyway. Dan Kerman says, has anything in this fixture drop altered your thoughts for Sky? I'm considering attacking Wolves now. Big fixture gains over City and Liverpool. To be honest, I was going Max Kilman tomorrow anyway from Laporte. I need to sit down and look at it. The honest answer, Dan, is I haven't had the chance. Didn't look up my FPL ideas till midnight last night because I was too busy making sure everybody else was in a good position. I had no intention to make a Sky transfer today because I don't have any pressing injury issues, so I can give myself a little bit of extra. The only problem is I'm probably going to look at that plan drunk tonight. Static says, apologies for the confusing question earlier, James. Too many plans going through my head. Thanks for the great content. No problem, mate. The good news with that Sky plan is I can look at it drunk tonight and then I can check it in the morning sober. Pushcar says, all right, man, thanks for the stream again. I cannot overstate how great Planet FPL content is. I just got recruited for my first job post-graduation, joining Patron soon. Congratulations, my friend. Vivek says, non-FPL question, what other sports do you follow? I barely have time to follow football. But I have time to follow like the Championship and Champions League and stuff. Although I did watch PSG Real Madrid and I watched Liverpool Inter this midweek. I don't have the time anymore, unfortunately. Nicola Torco says, Champions League question, James. Who are your 4 semi-finalists, mate? Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Bayern Munich. Ragaf says, hi Jimbo, can we all go to sleep? Yes, you can. Adam Barkley, Salah triple captain. What are the cons? The cons are the deadline's gone, mate. Steve says, Andy FPL just tweeted Robbo benched this week. Okay. Adam Barkley, Salah triple cap, mate. You think putting it in the chat 4 times is going to help? It was a shit question the first time. Wish you luck. Thanks everyone. I must shoot. Going to take my son out for a little while. Wish you all the best of luck with your teams, whatever your strategy is ever. Remember, play it your way. I strongly advise for the week ahead. Again, by the way, no early transfers. If you know you're free hitting, activate the free hit and enjoy yourself. Otherwise, no early transfers. Have a really, really great week, guys. Very best of luck. Me and Suj be back Monday. Ciao for now.